hear them there. Mm.
So we're recording this video for Alicia to find out questions about her upcoming festival that she's going to serve cacao at. And since Cacao Camper has been around for a year and I have some experience, I thought it would be nice to share that so that Alicia has a smoother experience. And for those of you who are going to be watching it as a recording, you can gain some info, insights on whatever you have in mind. So we, of course, are going to be drinking cacao. So let's invite Mama Cacao in officially so that she can help me answer everything efficiently, so that we can cover as much ground as possible to help us serve her in a way that she deserves, and so that we have fun doing it, getting rid of any anxiety of what might come, because we are always prepared with her on our side. So, Alicia, you're going to a festival and you don't know what's going to happen to you.
This is my first, yes, this is my first shot, my first opportunity to share cacao on a pretty, hopefully large scale at a wellness festival that is actually going to be on a mountain. They are reserving a mountain area they have lifts going up to the top of the mountain where people are going to practice certain workshops in body somatic movement, yoga. And then there's what's called the mindful market. And I spoke to the organizer. Originally, I had messaged her and said, I'm interested in vending cacao. And she responded back and she said, oh, we already have somebody doing cacao ceremony for the workshop. And I said, oh, no, I wasn't looking to do ceremony. And I almost did not respond back because I was like, oh, she shut it down. I was like, well, maybe she's misinterpreting or misunderstanding me. I said, I wasn't interested in actually leading ceremony. I was interested in actually making my cacao elixir and cacao truffles available for people that attend. And she said, absolutely, that would be awesome. Because I didn't know if there was going to be a conflict of interest, which would be kind of silly. I think there should be multiple people serving or leading ceremony, you know, at these vending events. So the first thing I thought was before I completely commit, I want to know exactly what is in store for me. Not that I feel like I'm going to change my mind about it. I just want to be as prepared as possible. And you were the first person that I thought of immediately. I said, if I can at least just get some insight and ask you some questions, and then here we are. So thank you so much for doing this and for your time.
Well, kudos to you, because you actually did not let anybody close this door on you so fast. Because let me tell you, yeah, you're gonna be reaching out, and the organizers are gonna be like, "Oh no, we already have somebody serving hot cocoa," or "No, we already have a dessert vendor," or "No, we already are full," or something like this, and they don't know what you're doing. Like, even you pick the perfect festival where it's at least geared towards wellness, and they're saying mindful market, so it's already, the ground is beautiful for you, versus going to some festival that is like music, or I don't know, grassroots, or anything that's not related to well-being, because there are many of those as well that you can go. And the festival organizers, they have so many vendors that they're juggling, and the the more in advance you're going to contact them, the better, of course, which you did, which is amazing. And then they don't care about your competition. So for example, this one festival I'm going this weekend, somebody who I know from our city is already doing a ceremony, and I was bummed. I'm like, excuse me, like, like, why wouldn't you just? She's like, I don't care. You weren't here. You were somewhere gone. I didn't know if you're gonna be able to attend, but now that you're here, just collab with her. And then we met again, and she's like, actually, I reached out to another cacao practitioner if she wants to sponsor it by providing the cacao. So if she provides free cacao, then this other person is going to do the ceremony, and then you find your place in between. And I'm like, I mean, you got to go with the flow at this time, because I mean, you can say no, but it's all about finding ways to collaborate, to set your ego aside and see how you can bring more energy into this field, right? So, when it comes to going to this market, it's very important to find a good spot. Um, they're going to put you somewhere, and then when you get there, maybe if you don't feel that this spot is right, you can negotiate where it would be better. About asking about how many people are they expecting at the festival, and checking out their social media. Like, for example, I looked at many festivals Instagram pages. Some of them have thousands of followers, and the pictures are really beautiful, professional. You can kind of see what kind of crowd is there. And some festivals are really, handmade, so to say, where
Mm-hmm.
it's more like a family gathering, family and extended friends, and you can be a bit more relaxed. And it doesn't matter whether the festival is going to be 10,000 people or 2,000 people. You might serve the same amount of cacao on both festivals. So you can never prepare enough, but what I know you're going to have at this fest, you're going to learn, and you're going to gather experience, and you're going to understand how much you like it and how much you can prepare for the next one. So first thing that I recommend is having enough cacao chopped. So however many pounds you want to bring, you need to know how you're going to store them there, depending on the temperature, right? So depending, okay, where is your location, what time of the year is it happening, how hot or cold is it going to be? Are your truffles going to melt in the heat, or are people going to be cold, and you need to make sure that you have enough hot water to supply them? And to have enough cacao chopped, and you have figured out how you're going to do your water, you need to figure out how you're going to mix it, right? So is this going to be in a thermos, multiple thermoses? Are you going to have a machine that is going to mix it, like a hot chocolate machine? Then you're going to need electricity. So at these festivals, they typically, depending on location, okay, if it's like on a farm, they might not always have the electricity for you. Sometimes these markets can be in the breweries, or somewhere where there's outlets where you can request electricity, and they're going to provide you like a long cable that you can plug in a water boiler, or even a big container that you can keep the water hot.
I have a
Like a
question
huge
that's
coffee
actually
maker.
that's
Yeah.
that's so wonderful that you brought that up, because you are bringing up things that I didn't even cover in my list of questions. So thank you. And this is like a great start from like the beginning. First, you need the water. So that being said, um, you know how I have all like my ideas of how I think I'm going to do it before we've met today. And so one of my thoughts, and you can tell me either that's either not going to work or it is, or and I know you will be completely transparent. I was looking at the hot plates, or I was looking at using a just my pressure cooker, but using it just on the heating setting in the stainless steel pot and making my cacao that way because that's how I make it for ceremony. And it's quick and it's fast and it keeps it warm and it keeps the temperature pretty regulated. So I wanted to know what your thoughts are on that and what works for you as well, if that's not an option.
Yeah. If you already have a way how you're doing it and it works for you, then this is the way that you can bring to the festival. I have been to
Okay.
one festival where they had just like a little, cooktop where they just had a pot, and that's how they were making the cacao. And I'm like, okay, that's apparently that's the way how it works for them. Um, so yeah, anything that works for you, you can have it in the top and pour it from into the cup, or you can have it in a sealed container and just pour it out of it, or you can mix it on the spot by having, just raw cacao, put an ounce in the cup, add the water, and froth it right as you're
Mm,
making the cup. Okay,
the
so that's
little mini frothers.
yes,
I,
because I'll tell you what
okay.
what is happening. So times when there are no people, like they're going to be in the workshops and you sitting there and you prepare the full pot of cacao. So I don't know if it's heat conserving or not, but by the time people are going to walk up, your cacao might be either, I don't know, overcooked or too hot or too cold, something. So
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of, you need to you need to be prepared for everything. You need to be prepared to not have any people and still make sure that each cup is wonderful and hot and delicious. And you can be prepared for a line that is going to come out of nowhere. Like you don't know. And then you will notice that, oh, making it one cup at the time doesn't work anymore because people are not going to be like, oh, cacao, yeah, I'll stand in line for 3 hours. No, it's not going to happen. They're going to be like, what? 5 minute wait? Next.
So what I'm feeling and hearing is be prepared for both ways. Have your pre-chopped cacao, be ready to have that so that you can add that when it's slower so people can have that full experience and use the frother, but also have your small batch of cacao that can be honestly whipped up just as quickly on a larger scale so that it's there readily made to serve the next, say, like 10 people that come through the line, right? Is that
Yes, perfect.
awesome?
Yeah. So I now after a year I go to the festival, and I cannot tell you, I just feel like, okay, now make 3 pounds now, make 3 pounds now, you're gonna use it. And some is like, no, don't even turn on your big machine, it's not, you're gonna be able to just make it by the cup, and it's not gonna be too many people. So you can always start with your hot pot. Always start by preparing some cacao. I always say have some cacao ready. Always there will be people at the festival that they're gonna come to you 15 minutes before you're ready to serve, and they're gonna say, are you ready to serve? And it's really disappointing to yourself when you say no. So now when I go to the festival, I just put it in a thermos, at least 3 5 cups, so that once I get there, even as I'm still arranging things and people walk curiously by and they say, oh, what do you have? I can be like, cacao, you want to try?
Nice. So yes, that's beautiful. So then it's like you're not so distracted that you're not getting done what you need because you already have some. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
And
Yes.
then once you see the flow of things, once you see how many people or how little there are, you can then just add cacao to what you already have and then add water and then continue doing so. So you'll have to have some kind of either whipping or frothing or blendering opportunity, so that whenever you're going to add the chopped cacao to the mixture that you already had and extra water, it needs to be blended again, right?
Hmm.
And it's always nice to have a helper. Like if you do have a friend that wants to come, the facilitators of the festival, they always give a free pass to somebody who wants to come with you. And so even if it's not a practitioner, it's always nice for somebody to turn on that hot water, because people will want to chat. Oh, what is this? What is it going to do to me? That brings me to another point, that it's nice to have a printed something, or if you don't
Hmm.
have a printed something, a QR code to a written something, because you can start saying a few things, but they will have more and more questions. Then you can gently guide them to, here's the information, here's how you can find me, here's how you can see how you can work with cacao at home. Because nobody is thinking about the fact that you're selling it for them to take home and have their own practice, right? So it needs to
Uh,
be, it's a message to myself. It needs to be very obvious that you want them to take some cacao home, and you want them to replace their coffee, or you want them to have a Sunday ceremony, or you want them to work with it somehow. So I always say this is just for you to try, so that you can get across that unknowingness. Okay, how do I handle this unusual brick that I never seen before? Typically it's powder. And what do I do with it? How do I drink it? How do I chop it? So they get to try it, and then you say, okay, take it home. And so you get there, you fill out the space, you create the atmosphere, bring things that are going to attract their attention. People are going to be walking by, they know that the market is set up to sell things, and they don't necessarily want to go there and be like, here's my money, take it. They're very cautious about, what is this, what is cacao cocoa, why does it
mm.
cost more than $3, Speaking of dollars, have you already thought about the price point that you're going to sell it at?
Yes, I have. We can talk about that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, I can throw something out there, and then you can tell me where my figures are at based on you, what you know and you've experienced, of course. So I want to make cacao truffles, little chocolate balls. Um, I've really played around with quite a few recipes, so I feel really confident and good about them. It's not the making of it that I'm worried about, right? It's not the end result of my actual, the quality of them or the taste. It's how am I going to price them so that it's attractive for people to want to try it, but not um, be a price point that's going to be like, well, why are those three little things that much? So I was thinking 3 for $5, and I don't need to make them huge. So the cacao truffles would be 3 for $5, and then I was thinking I could do different sizes of cacao. I could do like a cacao shot. I don't know how much I would price that actually, but I would do a full 6 ounce cup with like, what would it be, like a 32 grams, or would it be a ceremonial dose I'd be giving them? Or I could have them choose a ceremonial dose. I could price it out like 3 different ways. So that's now my brain's like going where I thought it would just be one thing. And now that we're talking, it's like now there's 3 different amounts and 3 different prices. So should I just keep it simple and here, this is what you're getting, this is or should I give people a choice? Right?
A
So six
choice is
ounces, yeah.
always good, but a small choice.
Mm-hmm.
I learned that many years ago. I picked up this gig in the mall whenever they tried to lure you in with a sample and then they sell you something.
Mm-hmm.
And I had only one buyer, and it was a man. And I told him, we have this smell and this smell and this smell. And he's like, just give me a smell. And I'm like, but which ones you like? He's like, let me give you an advice. You always just give two choices, and then it's easy to be like this or that. There is because if you give them too many choices, their mind is going to go, oh my god, and they're going to be overwhelmed about making the right choice.
Mm-hmm.
And that might take them away and be like, oh, I'll come back. There was a quick
Yes.
experiment video I watched. Somebody in California Beach were making the social experiment where they brought people free Jolly Pops or candy. There were different flavors, colorful, beautiful. So they had a tray with two flavors and they were giving it to people, letting them choose. And they said, okay, I'm going to take this. And then they asked them about their decision, like how happy are they about their choice. And I said, yeah, I'm very happy with the flavor. It's amazing. It's delicious. Thank you so much. And they just went on. And then they compared it to having a tray with dozen of flavors. And they gave it to people and they said, okay, choose. So people were going like, what, I can just choose one? Oh my God, and they were like, la, la, la. And they asked him, well, how happy are you with your decision? And they said, well, to be honest with you, I think I should have gone for the raspberry one instead of the coconut. So
Right. Right.
I was thinking I'm gonna have 7 different flavors, like 7 different planets, and it's all gonna be super cute, like was this creative branding that I thought it's gonna be like cosmic, or whatever, or it
Mm-hmm.
could be like for different emotions or different sizes of cacao. Today, I'm just giving them 2 flavors
Mm.
and one pure. And I figured out that having them have a shot option is very, very important because people are looking, okay, let's say you price it at $10 and they don't know what this is. And they're like, nah, but there I always have a little give it a shot and it's just $5. And they're like, okay, I'll give it a shot. That's like a no brainer for them. I'll give it a shot. And so they take a shot and they're like, mm-hmm. And then they might send people over and be like, go, you have to try that shot. So, as far as offering the ceremonial dose, I thought that will be like, of course, that's what you offer. You offer shot, a middle, and a ceremonial. Forget about that. If they already have a ceremony, then that's already taken care of. Even if they
Mm-hmm.
don't have a ceremony, there are not too many people who can handle a ceremonial dose. People who know cacao, you'll notice them. They're like, oh, cacao, I love cacao. And they're like, well, would you like me to make you a ceremonial dose? Would you like me to double that up for like $5 extra?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not going to be on the menu to not confuse anybody. Oh, what's this ceremonial dose? What is it going to do to me?
Mm-hmm.
People who know cacao, you're going to be safe to serve them that because they have drunk it before. People who don't know cacao, trust me, 1 ounce is going to be enough for them to feel it and to experience it. And you're not going to be walking on thin ice about all these contraindications and possible side effects that they might
Mm-hmm.
experience. And
Great.
then
Great
don't
point.
worry, you can always tell them, well, come back for another one. Okay? So if you just serve an ounce, then the person can get another ounce later in the day.
Mm-hmm.
The same
Beautiful.
thing with the shots, if they just get a shot, they can come back and get a larger dose.
Great. This
Because
is opening up.
it's important for people to be okay with the flavor. So those who don't know cacao, you're going to serve them ceremonial dose, they're going to be like, ah, what is
Mm,
this?
true, true. So 32 grams for what do you do for your large
I just do
serving?
half ounce for a shot and an ounce for a cup. That's what I do.
Oh, ounce for a cup, half ounce for a shot?
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know how much it is in grams.
No, that's okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's perfect. Um,
And then I always make an iced version. And then I make another flavor. So it's 3 flavors: pure, iced something something, and hot something something. And that's it. As far
okay.
as the bowls, I have not brought them out because I haven't experimented as well as you did. But I clearly had a guidance that 2 for $5. Because three, I
Two
mean,
for two for
yeah,
five.
yeah, they're gonna
If we
what?
make a good size, right? Make them a good size, then yeah.
Okay,
But people thinking like I'm only getting to, like their brains like only getting
No,
2,
no,
or
people
getting 3, you know?
are not thinking that. No, people are not thinking that. Typically, people come to these festivals with somebody, and typically it's not 3 people, it's 2 people. So it would be really convenient. Oh, two
So it
for
would be
five,
2 for
great.
2 for 5?
Again, it's just something that came to me. And what I am hearing now to tell you is what worked really awesome for me is to not have a steady printed price list, but a correctable price list. So it can be either a board or like little cute papers that you can exchange, and you can
Mm,
always feel
modify.
how the money flows that day. Depending on the energies of the day, there might be people who feel splurging. But then if it's in the Virgo, they're gonna be really tight, and you're gonna be like, okay, just try a shot for $5, and that's all people are gonna be buying. So you just want to start out with something, whatever you feel good, like whatever you feel good. If you don't feel good about the price, the offering, people are not gonna buy it.
Mhm, mhm.
So you sit down and you're like, do I feel good about 2 for 5? Yes, then put it out. Do I feel good about a shot for 5? Put it out. If you think, well, this is not enough margin for me, then put more money on it, and then you can have like a little sale, like a happy hour from 4 to 5. Come for 2 for 10 or something like this. I don't know. You can come up with this. But if it's too expensive for somebody, you can be like, oh yeah, come at the happy hour. And that happy hour is whenever you can turn on your melting pot or whatever you're going to be using, crock pot, and you're going to make a lot of it so that it's quick. You just pour, pour, pour. You already pre-mix it with spices. You're going to have this one flavor. It's going to taste amazing. And all you're going to do is put it in the shot. Boom, 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 boom. That's the happy hour. You prepare to sell it on a large scale for a discounted price. So
Excellent. Yeah, this is definitely giving me a lot of creative flow. It's very inspiring, and I'm like even more excited getting all of
because
this
it is
wonderful
it is really
information. And
exciting. It is really
yeah.
exciting. You're gonna have a better idea who's your target market. If you don't know that
Mm,
yet, you're gonna see, okay, which people are attracted to you. Yes, of course they're gonna be attracted to cacao or not, but they're gonna see you, and they're gonna look at you, and I want to know what she is offering.
mhm.
And then you're going to be like, okay, what unites all these people? Are they all women? Are they all men? Are they all ex drinkers? Are they elderly? Are they
Yeah.
kids? Who are they? And
Mhm.
then you can have like a little journal on the side. It really helps me to write these little things down. Or their comments. They're going to be making comments, and some comments might come multiple times. So it's definitely a clue for you to take into your consideration for next time. Like some people might be like, "Ooh, yeah, that's nice and spicy," so you can be like, "Oh, people like spicy," or they're gonna say, "Ooh, that's a bit cold," and then you're gonna be like, "Okay, I need to increase the temperature," or they're gonna say, "Oh, it says just like this and that." So you're gonna catch this language that they're using to describe cacao, and you can use that language to advertise it next time, because you're probably not gonna have and I don't know this, maybe you will, you're not gonna invest in big posters about what it is you're selling,
Mhm. No.
because you need to know to not confuse them and to attract them. What words do they know? Like how much do they know about cacao? Do they know it is chocolate? Do they know that it's hot cocoa? Do they know that is medicine? Do they know that it's plant medicine, or as delicious drink, or non-alcoholic drink, or healing elixir? That again, elixir or drink, or um, I don't know what other words. Cocktail, mocktail. There are so many words.
The association. So you're getting an idea of like what their association is with cacao.
Yeah.
what that is. Like when it brings me back to when I first heard the word cacao over a year and a half ago. And I was like, I know it's something kind of like chocolate. And I felt compelled to want to know more about it based on one sentence, one sentence that somebody said that introduced it to me. And it was, it's good for your adrenal glands. And I was like, sign me up. I want good adrenal glands. And that was my little thread. That was the thread that pulled me in and that I continued to follow. And now here's the universal plan here that's being revealed to me as we're speaking, and I'm going to be carrying cacao liquid. So yeah, it's nice to see again how people associate it and how you can share something with them, and it can provide such a great deal of expansion for them in just even if it's the smallest amount of information, and then to serve it and have them experience it in their body while being able to continue to educate them about it. I think that'll be really special. So I'm pretty excited about it. I'm excited about you sharing your knowledge with me right now with cacao and just learning more as well. So I love how everything comes around full circle with that. And I'm happy to be able to share my knowledge with the people that will be coming to my booth.
So
Liability.
something comes, hold on, before we jump into
Oh, yeah.
into the boring stuff, let's talk about again this language and how people associate it. I already said that they're going to be asking all these questions, and my mistake at the beginning was to splurge everything out about what I know about cacao. You know, as a new cacao practitioner, you want to tell people, oh, it's so awesome, you can't move on without leaving without a cup. And one lady, I told her about all these holistic benefits, and she's like, that sounds too good to be true, and she walked away.
You don't want to you don't want an informational overkill.
True. Yes.
Like you don't want to you don't have like a BB gun where you're like pew 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 and everybody's just like
just
okay.
A spoon. I always say a spoonful of sugar, a spoonful of information, and then they're gonna have to experience it from within. People are gonna, a lot of questions that I get is, how is it going to make me feel? At first I was saying, well, it makes me feel really energized, really happy, really social. And then I had one lady drink cacao and she was sitting right next to me. She's like, you know what? It doesn't make me feel anything like what you said. It makes me feel relaxed and grounded and not anxious. And I'm like, whoa, yeah, that's totally false advertising. So now I say that I don't know. Depending where you're at, it's going to bring you to the center. So if you're too much up here, too excited, it's going to calm you down, make you breathe, connect, feel good. If you're depressed and not really social, then it's going to bring you up, make you more open, make you more talkative and energized. So it really depends what you need right now. And I feel like whenever I tell them you can speak your intentions into the cup, they look at me like I have three eyes. So I don't know. You need to test your own wordings with that. I think that it really depends on the person who's serving that. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. You experiment to tell people whatever they need to hear. And you don't have to pick one phrase. You can just look at the person and be like, okay, I think he needs to hear this.
I think explaining to people too that it's with anything there's kind of a bit of a protocol with it as far as like an intention being part of that. Like part of that, don't have a ton of caffeine, then have cacao. Don't do that. Don't have dairy and then have, but let them know like if they want to know more about the protocol, right? To have a deeper experience or to get more of the benefits. I found that just from what I send out when I have ceremony, and I tell people if you want to experience it on a truly medicinal level, that would be something that people could explore more at home, and then so then I have the bars and I have the other things that they could try, you know, if they wanted to
Let me
take it home with
surprise you on this.
them.
You can write all this down and hand it to them. You will not have the time or ability to make sure that everyone receives it how you want them to receive it. People at the festival,
Mm,
they are already walking around with a cup of coffee when they come to you. They're walking around with beer. They're walking around with some kind of pink lemonade that they got, like the 16-ounce huge thing. They're gonna have their own little jar that they brought. So, wow, true. And you you want to, you don't want to turn them around. Like there were people with coffee and they asked me, well, should I not drink it because I already had coffee? And I said, well, you can have a half ounce.
okay. Yeah.
So you don't know what they had before they got to the festival. I mean, there are going to be people, maybe they're
Yeah.
going to be on mushrooms, maybe they're going to be on something else. You don't know. You are not responsible for what is going to happen to them. That's why I say keep the
Right
ceremonial
on.
vows aside. But yeah, you don't want to give them the whole protocol about, okay, make sure you don't drink any coffee or dairy, and now set your intentions, bring it to your heart,
No, not
drink a
there.
lot
But
of
if they wanted
water,
to, yeah, no.
and all this stuff.
No, if they wanted to know how, as opposed to the experience that they have by just swinging it, at the festival,
Girl,
you
they're gonna
know,
be swinging it. They're gonna be swinging it before you open your mouth. About like as soon as you're like you handing them the cup and you're about to say and they already,
it's
they're
there.
so
It's already
excited.
done.
Yeah, they're so
Boom.
excited to try it. They're so excited to experience the flavor and what it is that by the time you say bring it to your heart, it's already close
Yeah.
to their heart, but on the inside.
So just like you said, organically, just let it, just kind of let it,
Let, yeah,
transpire to the way it's going to transpire, and in observing as well.
observing. Each person is
Observing.
going to be different. Some people you're going to see they're anxious, they need you to speak. Some people are going to speak to you and you won't have a chance to open the mouth, so you're going to be very adaptable in a very quick time with that.
Okay. That's great. Yeah. Don't, yeah. Just like, it's like not trying to have that control as to how people are going to receive it.
Yeah.
Yeah. As far as, yeah, speaking of how people are going to receive things, that's where I like the liability part of like, I think we live in a time now where now more than ever, it's really important to disclose every single thing that is in something because of allergies, because of, you know, and I know cacao's it's straightforward and simple. The spices can be separate, great. But as far as the cacao truffles that I'm making, very minimal ingredients as well, but just um, a way to list what is in them. Like just people are going to ask. I'm not going to make like stickers, and I don't think I need to do that, but to at least have it written down, and also what ties into that is what I'll be serving and how I'll be serving it, and having the right permits for serving. I know it varies from state to state. I know I need some kind of food and beverage um, permit. That's the other thing. So waiting on the information from the coordinator of the festival, but I didn't know what your experience has been. If there's any general information that you have that you can share as far as that goes, as far as liability, listing ingredients, and any kind of permits, and what to maybe expect.
Yeah, so I was surprised how simple it is in North Carolina. I don't need to be under food and beverage. I am actually under agricultural department.
What? Okay.
And whenever I opened up the Cacao Camper, I thought that, oh, they need to come and check it out and give me a permit. No, no. It doesn't have to be as a commercial kitchen. They were just on the phone with me. They said, listen, you need to have two sinks, you need to have washable surfaces, and you need to make sure that you stay away from food like milk, so any dairy, meats, frozen stuff, that's all, like anything that people can get sick from, that's all in the department of health. And as like, we don't need to come out, you're good to go on your own, you don't need any paper, nothing. But if people are going to complain about you, we're going to call you and we're going to check you out and we're going to see how it goes from there. I'm like, okay, very interesting. So I even asked them about, okay, what if I'm gonna make smoothies? They're like, yeah, well, if the fruits, if they're not frozen, I need to double check with them again. So you need to call in your state, you need to call and ask under what department you're going to be. So it can
Who do
be,
I call exactly?
so you can start with the health department, or before you call,
Okay.
there's plenty of information on the website. They typically list it um very openly, like who is going to be under their department and who needs to pay them bucks. Okay.
Gotcha.
So, and you probably wanna avoid being that official food truck. You probably wanna
Yeah.
go as a cart, as a beverage cart. That
Yes.
is the simplest thing. Now,
Okay.
as far as serving the bliss balls on the beverage cart, I am pretty sure that they need to be made in a commercial kitchen. So if
Mm,
you do not get any information about whether that's okay or not okay to serve them, you might put it off and just go with drinks. Or if you know somebody who has a commercial kitchen, then you can ask them, hey, is this okay if I come use it? Or if you cannot use it, is this okay if I say that I made it in your kitchen? Whenever time comes, and you need to see like how are you going to package these bowls. So as far as it comes to the bowls, I am not experienced, but as far as it
okay.
comes to drinks, I can tell you that if you're a beverage cart, then you can have a simple liability insurance for your business.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you do have a business, and an LLC, a corporation, you just you pick any insurance company out there. They're gonna sell you a
Mm-hmm.
simple, like $20 a month liability thing, and it's gonna be really hard to explain what are you getting the liability. Well, not for you. For me, it was. So I have a Cacao Camper, which is like a mobile bar inside of the van, and they were really confused about what things can happen to me. Can I knock a person off? Is this going to be like a car insurance, and then this is
Oh,
going to be like
okay.
a food insurance, and is this going to be like somebody can destroy something? And I just say, just put me as a hot chocolate cart, beverage cart.
Perfect.
A chocolate
Perfect.
beverage cart, or if they don't even know that, then coffee shop. I'm a coffee shop, that's it.
Okay.
And then they're like, oh yeah, we have that coffee shop right here, $20. I'm like, okay, cool. Some festivals are going to ask you to provide that proof of insurance, and some are going to ask you to put their location on your insurance, which is totally not unheard of. It's very simple. You can do it on the app of the insurance, or you can call the agent and they're going to just send you something that doesn't cost any extra money. But some people who have like a farm and they don't want anything to happen there, they just want you to put their location on the insurance for that specific festival date. So every festival organizer will send you this information. They're gonna like say in big bold letters that they want you to have this and that. It sometimes is even on the application. When you fill out the application for the vending form,
No,
it's going to
this woman
say
didn't.
yes. And that's what I'm saying. It can be as simple as like, hey, show up. I don't care what you serve. Pay your vendor fee and let's
Mm,
be merry. And they're gonna be like, okay, well, do you have this and that, and provide this and that, and show me this and that, and you're like, ah,
right. Okay. Okay. So good to know. So liability insurance, and then clear with the health department. what I
Yeah, you just
qualify
want
as.
to type in your state, where is the coffee shop or hot chocolate carts fall under, and they're
Okay.
going to tell you. So if it does fall under the health department, you probably want to call them and make an appointment or whatever they need to do. But you don't really have a cart, right? You're just going as a
No.
vendor. So
Yeah.
most of these things, it's like a farmer's market, nobody's checking
Exactly.
anything. And the
That's what I
festival,
mean. It's
and so you don't
like a
have to
booth, like a table,
listen,
you know?
you don't have to create a problem when there's no problem. You don't
Right.
have to like knock on doors and be like, what kind of insurance do you want me to have, if they didn't ask you for insurance?
Yeah. I just want to be covered, like you said.
The
If I get there and it's
likelihood,
like, well,
yeah, the
shouldn't you know if you
likelihood,
vend?
okay, the likelihood that somebody is going to say, it's this witch who served me some kind of elixir that I was puking my guts out and, had to go to the hospital. So now this 300 grand bill, send it to her. You don't know. At the festival, they eat this bliss ball, drink this coffee, go to this workshop, get this sound healing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how do you know it was Cacao? You don't know. How do you know it was me? You
Mm-hmm.
don't know. So the likelihood of anybody suing you there is very small. But for your own peace of mind, just the liability
Yeah,
insurance
to have it.
for your business is good to have, which you already probably have since you're serving at the ceremony, because that's nothing different.
Mm-hmm. Yes. For my studio, which is where
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
provide other services as well. So I
Yeah.
have that liability for that.
You
All
don't need
right. That
nothing
was,
extra. You don't need nothing extra.
this
As
is,
far as writing down the ingredients, yes, of course, you probably, if you're not going to create a package, which each bliss balls, and again, we don't know if you're going to bring bliss balls right now, right?
mm-hmm.
Um, where you're going to write down on the cup what ingredients it has. It just, you buy this little small menu, and you can
Mm-hmm.
either write down on it what it is, and you just position it, the ingredients that it has, because people are going to ask what's inside of it.
So you're
So you
saying
want,
write the ingredients on the side of the cup?
no, I'm
Oh.
saying, since it's not packaged and they have nothing to see it, you either write it on the menu, on a big
Oh, on
menu
the
that you
menu. Gotcha.
have. Or
Yep.
if you want to have it, one little board for the bowls, or one little board for one drink, another board for another drink. It's really a matter of style, but it needs to be written down somewhere what you're going to put in there, so that people can not only determine whether they have allergies for it, but also taste wise, whether they want to experience it.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Let me, any other questions that I had? It answered my question so well, and like literally, I think everything you beyond covered. Like I feel so gifted by your information. This has been a big gift to me.
I feel called to do like a little dive in where we close our eyes and imagine how you're going to this event. You want to do that?
Yeah, let's
And
do that.
then once you're going to see some things, maybe some questions are going to arise that we can cover after we come out of it. Or if you feel
Yeah,
good about it, then we are done. All right.
let's do that.
Do you
Yeah,
have any more
that feels
cacao
good.
left?
I do. I
Okay,
do.
let's finish it.
All right, let's do it.
Go in.
Mm-hmm.
So you already found the festival. You're going to find a vendor application. You're going to fill it out and submit it. You receive the letter that you're accepted with further instructions of how to proceed. You're going to mark this event on your calendar. They are going to tell you the load in times are so and so. And you're going to take that time plus an additional hour. So if it's at 8 a.m. and the festival starts at 10 a.m., you're going to try to make it there by 7:30 so that you are not feeling rushed, so that you, just in case you forgot something, can buy it on the way, and so that you can serve the cacao to the vendors who have arrived and who also need to settle in. And that can also be a big part of your selling, where you serve the vendors who are going to be there anxiously trying to advertise what they have. So you're going to put it on your calendar as from 7:30 until, let's say, if the festival ends at 8 p.m., you're going to add an additional 2 hours to when you're actually going to be free, because people are going to mingle. Again, the vendors who are going to be packing up and needing some relaxation, they might come over and say, are you still open? So you can take that opportunity to serve them. There are going to be people who are having extra fun and they enjoy talking to you, and so you sit with them for a little bit when everybody's gone, and then you need to clean up and pack up and everything. So see your event on the calendar. Then you want to make a list of what are you bringing. Maybe your list is already in your possession. Maybe there are some things that you need to purchase. So you will have plenty of time to go on Amazon or to shop locally for any cute spoons, the paper cups that are biodegradable, or whatever you feel you need to make it you, to show and represent how you are bringing cacao into society. So you make a list, and of course, the first thing on the list is going to be cacao. And you want to put down how many pounds you're going to prepare chopped, how many pounds are you going to bring as blocks or bars. It's always good to bring both blocks and bars, because people tend to spend $30 easier than $50 on a big block. So then you're going to remember to bring water. Maybe you can put a little description around it. Okay, what kind of water you're going to get? Is it going to be the spring water that you trust, or is it going to be, your water charged with crystals, or however? It can be as simple as going to the Walmart and getting a gallon's worth of water. But then, how much would you like to bring? How are you going to transport it? Things can get heavy, so maybe you can check with the festival. Are you going to be able to get water there? Are you going to be able to get ice there if you're planning on serving it on ice? Or do you need to bring it with you? If you need to bring ice with you, you need to think about a cooler situation, because ice melts quickly. Then you are going to need some spoons or some mixing tools. All of that, write it down. Cups, cover for the table, marketing, printing materials, menu board with whatever you're going to write with it on it, and whatever you're going to wipe it with. If you decide to change your name or you decide to change the price, you can always change it if it doesn't flow. Maybe you want to sign up, to get the information from people. Sign up with your email to enter a free cacao ceremony at my studio there and there, or win a free block, to stay in touch with them. You definitely want to see how they can scan the QR code and get to your social media or to your website, wherever they can connect with you whenever they're out of the festival. See what you have on the table. So look at your table like you're your client, your customer. You're approaching your tent. You see this beautiful girl having this mysterious eyes, and you know instantly that you should go towards her and see what she has to offer. See what she's wearing. See how she's laughing. Maybe she has cacao spilled here and there, so remember to bring some cleaning wipes and paper towels that you can wipe the mess. Bring your own water bottle to hydrate, as you will notice serving cacao, you don't need to drink it. You're going to be buzzing from it just by touching it and smelling it and handing it to people. See what's laying on the table. See how it's arranged. What is attracting you to her booth? Is there something colorful? Is there bubbles blowing from her booth? Is there, her handmade jewelry that you also want to check out? Maybe you don't know cacao, but you definitely are shopping for some unique jewelry pieces. And that's what's drawing you there. So you can provide a whole experience about having a mirror, and trying on the earrings. And while you seeing how they fit, you're making a cup of cacao for them. But that's not necessarily, it just came to me to tell you this. See what kind of chair you're going to bring for yourself, or maybe there's an opportunity to hang a little hammock, or lay on a yoga mat. You will want to have some comfortable arrangement for yourself. Depending on the temperature, you want to get some fan if you'll be able to touch it to a source of energy, or you want to bring a jacket if you're going to be cold and it's going to be windy. Bring something to store the cacao that you might not sell. So if you already pre-made it, you want something that you can pour it in, take it home, make some additional bowls out of it, or drink it tomorrow. See the people that are passing by. See how they're looking at you. How are you going to make it more comfortable for them to approach? Are you going to offer like micro sample shots, or are you going to wave at them? Are you just going to make sure that they smell the cacao, because you're going to be constantly making it and it's impossible to pass by the smell of the beautiful pure chocolate? See a huge sign that you might artistically decorate that just says healing chocolate, or mood boosting elixirs. Just like 2-3 letter words. They cannot read more than that. So it's like one capturing phrase that is going to make them stop. Maybe you're going to play some music. Maybe you don't need the music because it's going to be music at the festival. Are you going to need a cart to drag it all to the mindful market? Or will they let you park there to unload everything and then park your car away and walk back to your booth? That's a good question to ask the organizer. Bring some snacks for yourself to stay grounded. So you had a blast at this festival. You shared your business information. You had beautiful encounters. You sold cacao. You made the connections. People approached you about possibly having a ceremony. You're just blissed out. You wrote down things in your journal about what people's feedback was. Perhaps you even recorded them for your social media. Perhaps you took lots of pictures showing what you do so that you can later on put it in your website, so that people can see what else you do. Maybe you wrote down some notes about, okay, bring more cups. Let's say you ran out of cups, so you ran out of cacao, or you brought too much stuff and you want to tell yourself to simplify it next time. Take your time to journal your experience after the event as soon as you can, either there or when you get home. Because the moment you fall asleep, the next day is going to seem like a dream and you want to remember the details.
Mm.
And then you can also write an email or a message to an organizer to thank them about allowing you to be a part of this experience. You can quickly email everyone who handed you their business cards, even that maybe cacao practitioner who was doing a ceremony, to connect with them, because the longer you wait, the faster they're going to forget your face. And don't be disappointed if none of these connections that seem so bombastic, leading to all these great opportunities, they're going to just disappear like they never happened. And so it is. You're leaving the festival, you journaled, you're falling asleep. And before you fall asleep, you have this one thought: this is what I need to ask Olena about this and this. Is anything coming to the mind? Remember that, and when we're going to surface from our little meditation, you can ask them. I wish you a beautiful time at your festival, sharing Mama Cacao and having lots of joyful moments and your own personal growth along with your business growth. Lots of gratitude for this call and for Mama Cacao to allow us to exchange our gifts. Whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes.
Thank you. I'm just absorbing all of this wisdom within you that was just overflowing, and getting to know you in such a more expansive way than I already did. And I just love that this is an opportunity for other people to gain confidence and insight and excitement, and hopefully that energy reverberates in anyone who does watch this recording, because I feel so much more at ease. I feel so much more inspired. I feel well resourced, and I trust. I trust in what you shared and how I can apply it to my experience.
Last but not least, Mama Cacao says, don't forget about the payment. Have change with you in dollar bills, $5 bills, less of $10 bills. People will give you cash, and that is why I think that the pricing of 5 and 10, something even where you don't have to give them change and they can just drop it
Mm,
in the jar. Definitely have a tip jar. That is really, really useful. I was experimenting
helpful.
with like $7, $9, all these like numbers that mean something to me. Really as simple as it gets, so that there is less change going on. Have a little Venmo scan so that they can just Venmo you as they wait in line, and have something that can accept a card on your phone. And if you want to go an extra mile, some people don't have a tap card, so they'll need something to insert. So maybe you have like a little square thing.
I do.
So cash,
Perfect.
anything that they can scan and pay there, whether it's Cash App or
Okay.
Venmo, whatever is popular, and something that you will have to handle, like a card payment.
A card tap. I do have a card tap machine, so.
Yeah, because you wanna
Yes,
wanna
yes,
take
yes.
you wanna so you're thinking, we're always going to these events, we're thinking how we're gonna give, but we also have to balance it out and see how we're going to receive. So I
Mm-hmm.
highly recommend to maybe make a little meditation as you already set up. You pour yourself a little cacao, welcoming her into the space. Maybe you want to have a candle burning, depending on the circumstances, to add extra
Mm-hmm.
spirituality. And you just call in and say that you are receptive to the abundance that is ready to come your way.
All well received information, and super grateful for you and this time, this connection that we're able to make in this way.
So no more questions, correct?
I don't. She's so thorough and or felt so organically led with it too. So it's just I was able to really absorb so much of the information because I didn't just like have so many questions to fire off. It just everything just kind of opened up in an organic way where I was actually experiencing it like in the meditation that you just did, and also being able to retain that information. So that was really lovely, especially for the way that I tend to get wrapped up in my head about things. It was nice to have Cacao as an assist and a support with that,
And
and
I
be able to
saw you,
truly.
and I saw you too. It was so beautiful. It looked very stylish, just as you are. And I would definitely stop by your booth, no matter what you're selling. Bowls or shots or earrings.
Thank you, sister.
Anything. So
Thank you,
I
sister.
can't wait to hear. Maybe we can do another call once you're
A
done with the
follow up, or like
festival. Yes.
yeah, or like maybe like a last minute pre festival checklist. We'll
Yeah,
do like we'll cut the time in half. We'll just do like a bip, bip, that would be wonderful just to say how far have I come since this initial video, and you know, what have I done with that information? How have I applied it to?
perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everybody who watched it. If you
Thank you.
do have any questions about how to serve cacao at the festivals, events, in a big way, in a medium way, or you want to create your own cacao camper, uh, I am looking forward to connecting with you. And if you love Alicia and how she carries her energies in this beautiful body, where can they find you, Alicia?
I am at cacao_expression on Instagram. So Cacao Expression.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you all.